Hey everyone, and yeah, good evening, and welcome to day 27 of our mini mention journey. And I honestly, I can't believe that we've made it. No, I can't believe that we've made it. But yeah, it's been so much fun. Definitely probably thought originally that I will be more hello Nunu. Hi. How are you today? Um I definitely think that when I started the project, I thought that I don't know if I thought I would finish in a month, but I think that I definitely thought that I would be more finished. Hey Moika. But I don't know. I feel like we're having fun with this, and because I'm not going to finish till Sunday, which will be the last day of the dailies. I do have something special for Sunday, but more about that later. For now, yeah. So today was a day of changing plans. I originally planned to do the bay window seats in the parlor today, but honestly, I didn't have a ton of time to do prep today, and that kind of design, that part needs quite a bit of calculations. So instead of that, I decided let's do a table. And yes, I know we did a side table yesterday, and I'll bring it in because I have finished it, and I should show you the finished little table. Just a sec. Yeah, I brought it in. Now I need to bring the camera there. So this is the little side table that we finished yesterday. The camera will actually focus in a sec. Thank you, camera. And you can see that I added the little drawer, and it's tiny, and it's cute, and it's quite lovely and very crackled. I don't know if you can see in here. If you're following me on Instagram, I have posted a photo of this earlier today, and you'll be able to see all the lovely crackle in the wood. And look, it stands. So exciting. So, yeah. So for today, I was thinking of doing another table, a table that kind of, where you can put some chairs next to it and sit around. I'm bringing the parlor in, and all the walls have fallen. That's why I'm delaying. Yeah, we will get to gluing walls at some point, I promise. But yeah, that's our little parlor. I'll put in I'll put on some walls so we can see it a bit. But yeah, so we have the fireplace that will be here, and we have this side table. Maybe I'll put this wall here. And yeah, so we have this little side table that will be somewhere probably next to, well, definitely next to some part of the walls. I'm not sure where yet. We have this little couch that I am starting to truly suspect is actually too small, which, considering the scale that I'm doing this, is a little bit alarming. But yeah, if it will be too small, then I'll make another one that will be bigger. We'll be making some more sofas anyway. But anyways, so I was planning to do the base window seats around here, but as you can see with the shape, it can be a bit tricky. So I'm thinking I want to do a table, and the idea was to do like one of those little tables that you can sit around, because no parlor is complete without a place to play bridge or another card game. I don't know. But then, because I said today was a day of changing plans. As I was collecting my things for today's live, I found this little bit of metal, and I thought suddenly that this would be cool for, like, like a sort of a metal decoration under a glass table. And yeah, I think that would be cool. And so I don't know. I think I might do that as well. Now the question is, because I was originally planning on like doing a wooden table, nice solid place to play bridge, apparently, um, and now I'm thinking of doing like a glass one. Now the question is, because my association, at least, with kind of glass tables is that they tend to be like of the like more the low tables that you would have next to the sofa and put your tea on, which is also very important in a parlor, let's be honest. So I might do this one a little bit smaller, and lower, shorter, with shorter legs. Um, but yeah, because I'm thinking, I don't know if you can see it with my fingers, but yeah, like if you put it, no, you can't. Not with that surface, but let's say I'll just bring it up to my fingers. But you can see that, like, if this is the size of a couch, right, pretty much, or a seat, then this is a good size for like a living room table sort of thing. So I think that's what I'll do. And I might actually combine that with another table, because it parlors, like we said, parlors were often kind of designed so they create different areas where people can sit together and have chats, play bridge, do other things, smoke. I don't know, maybe. Um, So I think that we will have a little lower kind of glass table and a sort of sit together table that I'm now considering doing actually a round one. Because you know what? I don't know if the owners of this house played bridge, but I am sure that they've done séance. And I don't know why, but in my association, seance always works with a round table. Hey, Christiana, how are you? Thank you so much for joining me, everyone. So good to see you. And yeah, so I'm thinking square lower glass table plus round normal height to sit with wood table. That makes sense? I guess it does. Okay. So let's put the room aside, or maybe I'll move to the desk, full view of the desk. There we go. Yay. Yes, I am good. I have had many table plans today. So yeah, let's do that. I'm just putting the room aside. Couch aside. So let's see. Let's start with a glass table, I think. And for the glass, there's actually two materials that I was thinking of. For the legs, by the way, I'm going to use to fix for both, I think. Yeah, it feels like that would fit. So we have either this acetate, it's quite thick. I think it's 300 GCM, which doesn't, I'm not sure if GCM actually works for acetate, but heavyweight acetate. That is one option for the material. The other option is this little piece, which is actually You know when you buy IKEA frames and they come with, ooh, hello. That's so weird. Uh, um, so IKEA frames come with this plastic glass like thing. So you can see it's really thick if you can compare it to regular thickness acetate, or like this is heavyweight acetate actually, and this is the IKEA glass. So it's very convenient, like it's very sturdy, but it might actually be too thick for the scale we're working on. I'm thinking this is the metal. I don't know. It can be both. We'll kind of see, I think, how well it reacts with my cutting knife. I'll have to bring my to bring my cutting mat in, which as usual has a ton of stuff lying around on it because that's what I always do. So yeah, the sounds you are hearing now is me clearing out stuff from my cutting mat so I can bring it into the frame, which would be useful. Okay, so move all these little pieces aside. Oof, so much stuff. Okay. Good God. Seriously, too much stuff. Okay, there it is. Now we have the cutting mat. Thank you. Useful. So okay, I think I'll try and use the, I know, right? Just flitted by. I mean, it always happens to me, let's be honest, but still, I'm just always shocked when the month is past. Okay, so this is 1.5 centimeters wide, and my plan is to do basically, I might do it 1.6, so it's a little bit over. And the idea would be, like, what's convenient about this shape is that you really have the perfect placing to put legs right at the edge of the design. So that would be cool. So that's what I'll do. So let's, ooh, I hope I have a, now that I think of it, I may not have brought a marker that can actually write on acetate, but we'll try. We'll try. Okay. Yeah. So, oh yeah, and I don't know if you've been around for the discussion, but basically, when this month is over, which is fairly soon, I would say, I will not be able to continue. I can't continue doing dailies forever, sadly, as much as I enjoy it. So the plan is to continue this project in a weekly live. And at the moment, it looks like doing it on Thursdays would work for most people. So the plan is to do Thursday, I am guessing the same time as today. So it'll be 7 p.m. CT. I hope that would work for most people because, yes, of course, there's a replay and you can watch it later, but I like having you around. That's the point of doing a live. Let's be honest. Okay. That's one. So move the axis away. And I'm trying to do that without getting too much dirt and scratches on the acetate itself. There will be some scratches, and I'm okay with that because, yeah, this isn't supposed to be a very necessarily well kept house, but I'm trying to, being a somewhat of a perfectionist with these things. If there's gonna be scratches, I want to decide where they are. Um, Although, yeah, I do like just, playing it by chance sometimes. But okay. And let's cut this out. And that would be our square. And that basically will be the top of the table. Just gonna. Ooh. Acetate is always a little bit tricky when cutting. I think we got it. Oh, yep. And thankfully, the marker, the pen I used is not permanent. Yay for that as well. Cool. Okay, I'm gonna move the cutting mat away. And we will continue. Ah. So another idea that I had, and I'm really hoping that it'll work, because if not, I'm gonna have to do the cutting again, is to use this little puncher. It's how much is it? It's a 16th inch. It's a 1.5 millimeter punch. And the idea is to basically punch a hole in every corner, and that would be how the legs will be connected. So instead of gluing it directly to the acetate, because glue on acetate, even if it's glossy glue and clear glue, it tends to be very visible. So I'm gonna try and and do it this way. Just wondering if it's a good idea to wing it or I should mark it. I should probably mark it, but yeah, let's wing it. Ooh. See if it worked. Please let go. It has cut through, but now, okay. Let go. It's very exciting. Now let's see that if I put the toothpick in, you can see that it's sitting very nicely over there. Yeah, I know. It did splinter a little bit, I think. I don't know if you can see a little bit, but that's an amount that I can live with. I think I'm kind of wondering like if it's for a real table, the metal part will be glued under the glass. And that's basically what I'll do here. It's a little bit less decorative, I guess, for us, but it makes more sense. So that's what I'll do. The only question is how. Yeah, I'll glue it like this. But first, let's put some holes in the corners and hope that hope that the acetate does not splinter. Oh, scares me every single time. I'm just gently releasing it. Actually going to use the toothpick to help me push it out a bit gently. Duh. Yeah, this one definitely got a little bit of damage there. We'll see. When I finish doing these, we can decide if it still looks good or if I should just glue it. Ah. And I do try to check from the side before punching that it's actually sitting in a good place. Ah, that went a little bit easier. Okay. Last one. Oh. Ooh. You are bending my plastic and I'm not happy with you. Oh no. Okay. Yeah. So definitely got a bit of a bend there. Let's see what it looks like. Focus, please. I think it's still okay. So yeah, let's go with that. I'm actually going to use my scissors to kind of round up the corners a little bit, just to give it, again, it's one of those little style details. Just gives it a more finished look. Okay. Yep. It's not going to be exactly perfect on all sides, but I'm okay with that. Now I'm going to try and very gently glue the metal piece to the acetate in hopes. Basically, it needs to be, trying not to have excess and not to move anything as much as we can, so that when the glue dries, it'll just be nice and clear and not too much, well, not too much of a mess, basically. And since this is a very strong glue, we really don't need a lot of it. So that's way too much. So there's a few spots in the design that have a bit more space, body, I don't know. Just, yeah, a bit more flat area, and that's where I'm putting just a little bit of glue. Going to add a little bit more here in the middle, and that amount should be enough to glue this down. So what I'll do now is try to very gently, if I'll find them, yeah, I'll actually use my tweezers to just hold it down, and just a sec, I want to add a tiny bit more glue here. Yeah, that's good. So I'm going to use my tweezers to hold it and basically kind of place it exactly where I want it. And my aim is that once it's glued down, I don't move it. So, just a sec. I'll bring a piece of paper. And so that afterwards I can just lift it with a piece of paper and put it aside to dry and not move anything. So this is where I want it. I'll just move my finger. Don't move. That's it. Done. Putting it aside and hoping that I've put enough glue. And while this dries, I'm gonna start doing another table. Yes, yeah. I would like to give this one a nice amount of time to dry for the glue, so I might actually have to finish it off camera. But yeah, you've already seen how I plan to put in the legs and everything, so I think we're good. So now the question is, square table or round table? And I'm somewhat tempted to try and do a round one. If it doesn't fit, hey Peggy, how are you? If the round table doesn't fit somehow inside the parlor, I can always move it to another room. So I'm just going to use this 3/4 inch punch, and this is a piece of chipboard. It's about 1 millimeter. It's pretty much the material of the same material as like cereal boxes, but this one is actually from an envelope. So, yeah, it worked, but it threw out of the table. And there we go. Little round. And now we'll do the same thing, basically, with one of the wood paper. Just let's choose an area, maybe. Something like this. There we go. And this we can just glue right on top of this. And now the question is, so for the legs, I will use toothpicks again. And I'm kind of thinking of doing a little bit, adding a little bit of decoration. I'm going to glue the wood paper to this little piece. So we'll already have that. Just move it around to spread the glue and then settle it right where we need it. It's all good. Yay. And I'll already use my marker to color the edges around. Now that I think of it, actually I'm going to do another round on the bottom because why not? It's one of those things that it's just like, yes, the bottom of a miniature generally is not that important. Usually people don't see it. But what if when you design the room, you suddenly feel like putting this table on its side, like something happened? That is when it's good to have the table capable of being used both sides. So for that other side, I'm actually going to try, let me see, because I have several pieces of wood paper that I've already colored and done it with different effects. And I'm looking to see if I have one that is cracked. Let's see if this works. It's a little bit narrow, but let's try to get it. Work, yes. Awesome. Because, yeah, look at these cracks. Focus camera, please. There. Look at those. That's awesome. So, yep. So we'll have one side with cracks and the other side without cracks. And before I'll add the legs, we can decide what we want our table to look like. Cracked or not cracked? Let me know in the chat if you have a preference. Would you like a severely cracked table or a just old looking, not cracked table? That's basically what we have here. And I'll just finish this circle as well, so we won't have any white edges peeking through. Now for the height for the legs, I'm thinking, so the kitchen table I did, it was about 2 centimeters high, but I think that actually the kitchen table would probably be taller, because a lot of times it's a work table and a lot of time you stand next to it, so this would probably be slightly lower. So we'll go with like, I don't know, 1.7, 1.8 or something like that with the toothpicks. So want this side up. Yeah, coolness, done. That would be the upside. And now I'm just thinking, if we add the legs, just adding them without too much complication, or if we should add some decoration. But I think in this case, I think that actually with the legs, I would want to add them first and then maybe add some decoration around. So I'm going to take the toothpick and I'm cutting some of the tip. So we will be able to have, but cutting it that straight, please. The idea being that this will be the bottom of the leg and we'll get this sort of slightly tapered look. And I probably should have marked the height before to see if I like how much of the edge I removed. But hey, there's more toothpicks, so it'll be fine. So yeah, the height I'm going for, let's see, this is, it's now about 2 millimeters. Am I right? Yeah, probably 1.5 millimeters or so. But then if I want the whole thing to be about 180, then I shall chop this down at about, let's say, 1/6. Stop moving, please. Stay. Good toothpick. Something like that. Does that make sense? Let's see. Yeah, I think that would look like a good height. So I'll chop it. I'm just making sure to hold both sides because these things fly off. Yeah. And we'll also take my just this nail file to just clean up the edge, make sure that it's straight, and try to avoid the splinters as much as possible. Let's see. Yeah, I probably, hmm, I probably cut too much of the tip, actually, I think. Yeah. So I'll just sort of redo it, I think, to give it maybe. There's not a today because I'm thinking aloud with you. Hope you don't mind. But yeah, so I'm on screen. Yes, I am. How exciting. Okay, so this is just marking both sides where I'm going to cut, chopping this side and this. And yeah, you can see that the way I cut it now, it gets a much more tapered edge. I think that's how it's called. And using my tweezers, I can look and compare and decide what I like better. And I'm actually going to change my mind again, I think, because it feels like this is actually too delicate almost for this table. I'm also going to just test. Yeah, see, that's way lower than I planned, I think. I might need to lengthen the I don't know. No, it is 1/8. Yeah, it's fine. I'm just imagining things. Okay, so let's do some more legs and then we can glue things down. Yeah. And yeah, I'll just use the first one that I cut as my model, mark things off it, and do the legs. Yep, that's these two. Move this aside. This one might be good for the glass one, actually. And let's do this again. Just seeing that it's cut pretty much where at the same place at the tip, so the bottom part will be the same length. Good here. Lost my spot. So do this again. Hope you don't mind me babbling around. I'm actually going to do just use the markings from this one to move it to the last bit, and we can now do chopping. And yeah, let's just sand the edges a little bit. Probably this one's got, yeah. There's less of a problem with the small tip just because it's narrower, so it's easier to cut. It cuts quite I will find the word. It just stays clean. It has a more clean cut, and with the edges that are thicker, it does tend to be a bit more tricky. Now we'll just turn this over, bring our glue, and start gluing, although, let me think a second. So I have a thought. Yeah. What if, let's see if I have one that fits. Thinking that if I could maybe make a metal ring at the bottom, I'm trying to find a, that's way too small. I was thinking of doing like a metal ring that would kind of help me mark where the leg should be. But to be honest, I think that if I will add a metal ring, it should be lower on the legs. So we will just do that thing called eyeballing it and hope for the best. Cool. So yes, using the heavy body gel again. And I'm actually going to put like little piles of glue first and then add the toothpicks into them. And that will help me to basically just do almost a cross shape, really. And try to do them, well, evenly around. I guess that would be the word. Yeah, something like that. Just to, yeah, basically split it into quarters in a way. I could probably, perhaps even should, have just drawn lines in the middle to do it perfectly. But honestly, because it's such a small piece, it's actually, at least for me, I find it a lot easier to split up pieces that are this small than if it's bigger. You can see that it's not perfection, but we will fix that later. And now I'll just push these straight into place. I feel like this should be a bit more to here. We'll remove some excess in a bit. First, I just want to see that they're sitting, they're positioned well. Yeah, this one should be more, oh, no, not on the glass. Should be more to here, I think. This one, last little leggy. Cool. I'll bring a toothpick to just, I'm actually going to pick it up and kind of very gently clean up some of the excess glue. I'm not worried about having a little bit of it. Just, yeah, using the toothpick to remove the excess, and then I'm cleaning it to the side here on this little piece of kitchen towel. Paper towel? I think one is British expression and the other is American. I never remember which is which. But as long as you know what I mean, that's the important thing, right? Okay. So, and of course, I will color the legs afterwards. This is a very simple looking table, which is why I feel a deep need to add decorations, and I probably will, but I will figure out exactly how later. I'm actually just standing it and trying to see that it actually stands. It does seem like one of the legs is a bit too long. Yeah, but that I will actually fix after the glue dries. Because at the moment, if I'll start trying to cut, it will break the bond and fall off. So we're not going to do that now. And therefore, my dear friends, I think that we might actually end a little bit early today because there's a lot of glue needing to dry before I do anything. So yeah, I'll bring this guy in. We have two sort of half done tables. This guy needs to dry completely, and I'm not touching it for like another half an hour at least. It's probably is already set, but like I said, um, because it's on acetate, first of all, it does take a bit longer to dry because it's non-porous material and it's two non-porous materials, metal and acetate. Um, so it takes a bit more time for the glue to dry, but also because it's acetate, if there is that stage when it's basically bond, but you can still move it a little bit. And if I move it a little bit, it'll smear the glue and will leave marks, which I prefer to skip. So I'm not touching it until I'm sure that it's completely dry. With this guy, we need to let the legs dry, and then I think trying to think what kind of decorations we might add. So I might add some sort of edging to the table that will give it some interest. I might do, one of those like a ring that goes around this height of the table legs. Although I feel like that works usually with metal legs and not so much with wooden legs. So I'll think about it. But trust me, I'll come up with something. Also, this little table, I believe it's the right height, but I'm not entirely sure. So we'll check it. But basically, since it's a table that is meant to be for card playing and things like that, it will be covered with a cloth, a tablecloth. So I shouldn't have worried too much about it being cracked or not, now that I think of it. But still, why not? Having details is good, always. It gives you more options. But I will think also of the possibility of a tablecloth or maybe one of those like table runners, or I don't know, like a doily? Maybe something like that. Anyway, we'll think about that. And I think that tomorrow we might actually do some chairs, tiny, tiny chairs for this little table. I think that would be cool. Because, if you're going to play bridge or do a seance, I think so, seance, next to the table, you need to be able to sit. So chairs are important. So that's what I think I'll do tomorrow. But for today, that's about it, I guess. Yeah, so that's our progress for today. I'm quite happy with how it's coming. we'll see how happy I am with them when they're finished. Sometimes words are hard. It's true. Um, Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me today, and I will see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful rest of the day. Bye for now.